Hi, it's Christy with Yo Gypsy, and it's been a while, but I decided to pop in here and share a recent journey that I've decided to embark on. This is a different kind of journey. It's not Trinidad and Tobago or India or Europe. It's a journey that I decided to take for me on my 48th birthday a couple of months ago. The last couple of years have been a little funky. And I decided that I wanted to start a reverse aging process using only all natural techniques. So it's kind of hard to see on this video, but I'm going to take before and after pictures of each area as I do it in the next couple of years. And originally I was going to do this just for me. And then I got the idea that maybe I would share it with all of you. And maybe we can help each other on the way. When I had the idea to start this process over the summer, I kept starting and stopping, and then I realized there were some underlying issues, some underlying things that I needed to deal with. So today's video is just basically telling you and bringing you up to speed on the 7 things that I did in order to kind of get me ready to actually do this. So the first thing that I did was I turned off the TV, specifically the news. I've never been one for watching a lot of news or commercials anyway, but I really had let it get to me. I had become kind of obsessed a little with tracking some recent and historical moments, and I didn't understand what that was doing to me. Now, I'm not saying don't pay attention. We need to know what's going on in our environment, but maybe there's an alternative news source for you. I had to find some, and I'm not recommending any right now. That's up to your personal choices. So just, if you can, cold turkey, just turn off the TV. I just recently turned my TV back on just for Netflix movies here and there, giving myself a little bit of that veg time, because there's some favorites that I love whenever we get into the fall months, and it just brings a good vibe. The second thing that I did was I evaluated my inner circle. Now, I had thought I'd been doing that for the last few years because I really understood the tier system, and I'd been sharing that with so many of my friends and family. But it really came down to some decisions I needed to make in just the last couple of months, where some people don't need to be in your inner circle. You can get easily distracted, and you never finish the goal that you keep trying to start. At least I had so much trouble with that, and it made all of the difference when I decided to just make that change once and for all. The third thing that I did was, I've always been thankful. In fact, I had a thankful journal that I used to keep, but there were some days where I would skip, and I think I always overwhelm myself. So I decided, pick 3 things every day. Or if you're in a funk, you're feeling those emotions coming over you, and you're just not having that day. I don't care what mood you're in. You can be elated or you can be down on the dumps. Every day, find 3 things. 1 thing if you're really struggling, but 3 things to be thankful for. It can be, I'm thankful that I have a running washing machine. It literally can be, I'm thankful that I have all of my toes. It can be anything. It makes a difference. Just trust me on that. The 4th thing was reducing my to-do lists. And this might seem counterintuitive to a lot of people. It was for me. This is still a challenge. It's still a challenge. I know I am an overachiever in some areas, and when you have a personality like mine, you get overwhelmed, and then you kind of shut down, and things still get done, but it's a lot of busy work. And the things that you really want to do for yourself always get pushed to the back burner, because I think it's symptomatic of old beliefs, maybe not feeling good enough, or that other people are more important. And I had to work through a lot of that, but it also had conditioned me over time to think that I had to put 20 things on my list. So I started writing 10, but it would grow still every day. And just recently, I just started writing 7. And it's still it's a problem. But try to reduce that list and get rid of the distractions. Because it's time for you to focus on you. It's time for me to focus on me. And I have 5 children, so I know how hard that is. Now, I only have one left at home, but now I have a bunch of grandbabies. So I still know how hard it is when you get a phone call and can you go pick them up from school and this person's sick, or it's never ending. But you have to find a way to minimize the distractions and put the focus back on you. Number 5, I every day ground, meditate, and breathe. And I put those 3 together because I do it all at the same time usually. You can even ground in your house as long as you're taking off those shoes and you are putting your feet on the floor. I usually tend to go and just stand in the grass for a minute. I don't know how hard that is for you. I don't know if you live in an apartment complex or in the concrete jungle. There's a park somewhere. There's a place. I know temperature can sometimes be a factor. It doesn't matter. You want to take off any type of rubber sole shoes and you want to get grounded, or just take your shoes off in your house, plant those feet down, find 2 minutes to do that, and maybe close your eyes. If your meditation is prayer and you're saying to me, I can't meditate, I've got monkey mind, it won't stop. I understand all that. I'm not going into any details. Find your best source of meditation. It can be journaling. It can be painting. It can be washing your dishes. It can. But you got to just try to quiet the mind a little and get grounded before you start your day. While you're doing that, you need to breathe. And I'm going to have future videos going into breathing, because as a yogi, breath is central to everything. I studied Hatha yoga as I was learning, and breath is everything. It's the source of life. Prana. Number 6, and this kind of goes back to some of the other things I talked about. This was a doozy for me. Learn to say no. I gave it its own step because it's big. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your obligations are. I have worked the hours, the jobs, 30 years. I have a ton of children. I have a husband. Learn to say no. It may feel like you're going to die, but learn to say no when it's appropriate. Start practicing. I was so bad at it that my no's initially came out as a fight. Like, people thought I was being combative because I was so resistant to saying no, or felt this strange expectation or obligation. And that taught me so much about myself. Like, where did that come from? I'm not sure, but there's a ton of resources out there if you start Googling it. Or maybe you've already learned to say no. Good for you. This is new for me. I thought I had learned. I was completely unaware. The last couple of months have shown me that wow. But yeah, I learned. And it feels great. My final step, and this one is probably the one you're thinking, this makes the most sense. Move your body. You gotta move your body. And I'm not saying run. I'm not even saying do yoga. It's not weightlifting. Unless that's what you love, I literally walk. I walk and meditate. So you can knock out a lot of this stuff together. Most of this is mental, and then there's the movement. Got to move the energy. You've got to, it gets trapped. Not to get too spiritual or woo-woo, but it's true. And when I got a hold of all 7 of these things, and I incorporated some other stuff, and I'll go into it later, but these were the core fundamental steps that I had to take for this journey as I begin reverse aging. And I've already seen a little bit of improvement. It's interesting. Just doing those things has actually added a different glow. It helps me sleep better. So now that I'm getting everybody caught up and I've decided to go public with my own little personal journey, I think the day of reckoning is going to be in August in 2 years. And along the way, I'm going to, like I said, document. My daughter, when she gets home from school today, is actually going to take tons of before pictures, and I'm going to, through the course of the next 2 years, give little updates on that. But we want to have those before pictures, and I may find some way to add it to the end of this video. I don't know. I'm new to this. I'm not the best editor. We'll figure it out together. And for now, I'm going to keep the comments on, and maybe there'll be some constructive guidance. You can share with me and other people what you've done. Or if you have questions. I don't know as this goes along how interactive I'm going to be able to be with that, because I have tons of other things going on in my life. But I think that we're going to make some good friendships out of this. I hope so. I hope so. I think the next 2 years it's going to be interesting, and I'm thankful that you're here watching this, and I hope that this helps you. I want to try and be a motivator for you in the next couple of years, and vice versa. Thank you.